Thank you for joining us for the Springfield Business and Economic Review. I'm your host, Sarah Wolin, with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. And today we have three individuals with us. We have Stephen Hunt, who's with White Oaks Mall. We have Ann Early, who's with St. John's Hospital. We also have Dave Robinson, who's with the Basic Crafts Council of Illinois. So thank you all for being here today. We appreciate having you here with us. I know we're really going to touch on a lot of things related to both of you and how they relate to White Oaks Mall. So, Stephen, maybe you can start out a little with telling us about what White Oaks Mall is. If you just moved to town, you don't even know where the mall is.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit that we should know about White Oaks Mall.
Absolutely. White Oaks actually just celebrated our 30th anniversary this past year in June. It marked 30 years. Built by Simon Property Group, which is our parent company. A lot of people don't realize that Simon actually built White Oaks because we didn't do branding until about 7-8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people think that Simon bought it but actually built it. Started out, White Oaks was, for those who just moved here, White Oaks is a 2-level mall shopping center. We draw the entire central Illinois area, 10-county area. And we are located on the west side of town. When White Oaks was built, we were primarily the only thing that was out on the west side of town.
I've seen pictures. I think I was at your anniversary party or open house where there's a picture, an aerial shot of White Oaks Mall with cornfields all around
Cornfields all around it, and Veterans goes up just past it and then comes to stop.
There was nothing past about Wabash-esque somewhere in there.
Just stops. There's also a shot that we have in our office that shows White Oaks from, like if you were downtown looking towards White Oaks and you see all the cornfields behind the other side of Veterans.
It's all
so
full
the
now.
plaza's gone, and you can see all the way out to the fields.
Gosh.
So, we've had a lot of growth in the last 30 years. A lot of things have changed. We started out with certain tenants. We moved things around. We originally had a Kohl's in the mall. When the last renovation happened in 97, I believe is the date, they actually took it out and moved across the street to the plaza. And that's when we added the food court and some of the other stores in that area. So.
Well, great. Sounds like a plan. And I know one recent development you've had is a new play area.
That's right.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, we recently opened the play area. Over the years, we've gotten a lot of requests from our customers just asking, play areas have become more common in the market. They're seeing them at other malls, other cities. And a lot of people, have come and asked, would it be possible to get a play area at White Oaks? I'd love to have it. My wife has actually joined that group with our 2-year-old.
She was advocating.
She was advocating,
on behalf of your son, I'm sure.
Yes. Something to do on the rainy days and a place to come and gather. And so, we talked about it internally, tried to come up with ideas of what we could do. And so we kind of came up with an idea. And once we got to that point, we thought, we really wanted to find someone to partner with us to bring it to life and to fruition. So I actually had met Peggy Curtin at a Leadership Springfield event. And I was like, I think Peggy Curtin and St. John's Children's Hospital would be a perfect match for us.
Enter Ann.
Correct. So, I called up Peggy and I was like, hey, could we get together for lunch and just talk about a couple things? And, she and Brian Rudin were just excited from the very beginning, wholeheartedly embraced it. I think it took us 6 months, 7 months total to get through the whole process.
That seems very fast to me. I mean, when I think of projects like that, it seems like it could take, you got to plan, and then you've got to find partners, but it sounds like this partnership just really meshed.
It really did. I want to say from our first meeting with Peggy and Brian, I would say it was probably within a month that we had decided we were going to go forward.
Wow.
And because of the initial stuff that we had done before contacting them, we were able to fast track a lot of things on our end. So it was the actual choosing the elements and designing the things that took the longest.
And tell me a little bit about how you got involved with this project. Once they started to talk about coming together, St. John's Children's Hospital and Simon White Oaks Mall, how did that mesh for you?
Well, Peggy Curtin wanted us, our child life team, to be involved. There are 3 of us at St. John's Children's Hospital. We are child life specialists, and
what's that mean?
What we do.
Okay, thank you.
we get that question a lot, so I'd be happy to talk a little bit more about that. basically our main goal is to alleviate the fears and anxieties that's associated with being in the hospital. We do that through a variety of different techniques. We do a lot of teaching, coping and distraction, a lot of family support, basically to help make it a little bit easier for our kids and our families. And what's
That's
important is to recognize, child development and where the child is at and how they are responding to hospitalization, and to enhance their development while they're hospitalized. And so Peggy contacted us to be players in this particular project to give our input in terms of what we think would be developmentally appropriate, and just what kids would like and what kids would need. We work with kids on a daily basis, and so we kind of have an idea of what may work.
So this sounds like well beyond just putting up a block and saying, here, climb on this.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys really made this a thoughtful process of how it would interact.
Yeah.
What are some examples of some of the ideas you were able to incorporate into that?
Well, one of the things, there is a health focus, a health and safety focus to this play area. We were very excited to have an ambulance as one of the play structures, which is wonderful because we recently began our pediatric transport team, with our ambulance going out. And so we really were excited to tie that into the playground. And also there's a car there, there's a bridge, and there's different things that children can climb in and out of, a tree. So we were looking at health, we were looking at safety, we were looking at nature, things that were familiar, very colorful environment. And even one of the things that we thought would be a nice touch was to have a carpet that had roads and had water, and to raise an awareness of safety awareness, when the kids are playing in the play area, to remember to look both ways, or to remember that an ambulance is there to help children.
It's really those little learning moments, like you said there, when you're playing inside, it's a rainy day, your kids need to run around, they don't want to be in the house. You can stop by the mall, pick something up, run an errand or whatnot, but your kids can go work their energy off, and it sounds like learn at the same time, just those minor things that aren't necessarily in books, but things parents or friends can help teach their children.
Right. Well, we wanted it to be an area where children were able to, use their physical and their sensory experiences as well. They're able to climb and crawl and do all those things, and it reaches a variety of age groups as well.
I was just going to ask that. What age groups are focused on this? Is there an under limit or an over limit that you're looking at, or focus or targeting towards?
It's targeted towards 2 to 8 year olds.
Okay.
And the height limit is 42 inches.
Okay.
Which is, we want to make sure that it's a fun, playful, and safe environment.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the children get a little more rambunctious and a little more crazy they get in their playing. And so we want the parents of the younger children to feel comfortable and just to enable them to come out and play. So that's going to be one of the things that we keep an eye on and are cognizant of, that you've got to be this high, otherwise you can sit and watch your brother play, or there are also in addition to the climbing and the running around type things, there are like some games built into the walls.
Oh, neat.
And like the block things that you move around on the wires, those kind of things.
Like those.
So there are those things where like mom and child can interact together and do. So like Ann said, we try to make it something that would appeal to a wide variety of children.
Okay, so it's a rainy day. Is it expensive to bring my child here to play at the Playland?
No, it's free.
This is what I like to hear.
Yeah, and just this morning I saw, we had some moms sitting in there with their kids, and it gives the moms a chance to interact with their friends and socialize.
Bring the play group.
They had a cup of coffee and they're sitting talking with one another, and the kids are running around having a good time. And it's enclosed, in an environment. It's a 900 square foot. There's only one entrance. And so that's no way in and out other than that. It's got a diaper changing facility right there,
Oh,
so
wow.
mom doesn't have to leave to go change
She
a
has
younger
another
diaper.
child already
right.
in there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all contained within the space.
Well,
And an
that's-
area for the strollers as
Oh,
well.
that's right.
See?
We created
You don't
a little.
want those to roll away.
Right. We created a little stroller parking entrance at the
How
beginning.
fun.
So yeah.
That's creative. Now, where is this located in the mall? The mall, of course, as we talked about, is huge, 2 stories. Where would someone park or enter if they were interested in this area of the mall?
It's on the lower level of the Sears wing.
Okay.
So the closest entrance, that's just a straight entrance to the mall itself, would be on the Hancock Fabric entrance.
Uh-huh.
That's on the west side, on the lower end of the mall, and that takes you. It's a straight shot in, right in front of Sears.
But of course, you can enter anywhere and just
You-
peruse
exactly.
through the mall and have
Exactly.
fun with that. Well, that sounds wonderful. And Ann will come back and talk a little bit more about this. But I also want to talk a little bit with Dave about all this excitement that you guys have had. I know you've had a lot of growth with gift card giveaways. Can you give me a little bit summary of what's been going on with that and how the Basic Crafts Council of Illinois has been involved in that process?
Sure. This is our 4th year in partnership with Stephen and Simon Properties. We give away in December, depending on the donations from our contributors. It varies, but this year we're looking at almost probably close to $12,000 this year. It's grown from over 6,000. Now it looks like it's going to be at 12,000.
Okay. 2 big questions come out of that. Where's that all come from and where is it going?
Well, it
Who's it
comes
helping?
from the Basic Craft Council itself, which
Wow.
compromises the Teamsters, the carpenters, the laborers, and the operators.
Wow.
We sit on the council and kind of oversee construction throughout Springfield and the surrounding communities that involves our unions. And of course, the money, we all kick in our fair share from our locals. Then the Basic Craft Council, they kick in a certain percentage. And then we just kind of go out and start soliciting donations from all of our
Wow.
contractors.
That's phenomenal. What a great effort where you're bringing together
Sure.
different individuals, different contractors, as you said, to really come together to make a big impact.
Sure.
So you're not each giving away a $5 bill to willy-nilly.
Yeah.
It's all in a focused effort. That's great. What a great contribution to the community from the labor community.
And all the money, obviously, we give it away, and it goes back into the community in the form of gift cards, depending on the denomination. And it's a pretty good thing. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it again this year. This is, like I said, the 4th year, and I think it'll be tremendous. Stephen's really helped us out with this. White Oaks Mall has been tremendous. It takes several hours to get it done during the course of the day to make it happen, but
Yeah.
we have the radio stations attend also, and
Now, how do they decide who gets the card?
what we do, it's real simple in a nutshell. We have anybody can participate as long as you're over the age of 18.
Okay.
You get just like a ticket. You would go to a movie theater, just a little ticket. It has the numbers on the bottom of it. We have a MC. He calls the numbers. If you win, you win. It just depends.
Wow.
And then it goes from $75 all the way up to $500 this year.
Oh my
So you could win a
goodness.
$500 gift card out there.
Wow. And Stephen, now if someone wants information about this, where can they go to get that?
To our website is
Okay.
www.simon.com, and then you select White Oaks Mall from
And
that, and it will
info's
open up.
updated there.
Yep,
Because
yes.
what a great community gift. What joy. I
Mm-hmm.
like this. You guys make us smile. And of course, the Simon gift card. What does that mean? What can you do with it?
Well, with the Simon gift card, you can use it anywhere that
Okay.
a Visa debit card is accepted. It's a transition from your traditional gift certificate products, which is what we had in the past, where that gift certificate was limited to the mall itself. Now with a gift card, you can go anywhere and use it for anything, whether that's in the mall, or if you want to go to a restaurant for dinner, if you want to buy groceries with it, so it's just become a multi-purpose gift. One
size fits all
One
is what I
size
say
fits
in my
all.
house.
Yes.
That gift certificate
Yes.
fits me. And for those who haven't seen one, it's actually a plastic debit card. I mean, it's a debit
is.
card.
It is.
It fits in your wallet
Yep.
with everything else, and
Yep.
like you said, it spins just
Yep.
like cash. It's easy.
Anywhere that takes Visa accepts it. So it's just like any other Visa card.
Yeah.
So it can be used anywhere.
Well,
And
that
that's
sounds
become a very key point, I think, in the retail business in the last few years. Our gift cards, they're just becoming a more popular gift.
Yeah, they're great. Now, what motivated you guys? I know you've been at this a couple of years. Why? Why'd you get going with this? How'd you start it? Why'd you start it?
Well, We have, between the 4 groups that sit there at the table, we have over 7,000 members. So they give us, so we turn around and give it back to them.
Wow.
And give it to the community more than anything.
I mean, kudos to you guys. I mean, what a great joy. I mean, I can just see people's faces lighting up. In
It
my
makes
head.
a lot of people's Christmas. You'd be very surprised. There's a lot of people, we have repeat visitors, if you will. We know them don't know their name, obviously, but by face.
You recognize them.
Oh, yeah, they know us. And they come every year because they live for this 2 or 3 hours of, it's
Really
just, it's
makes
phenomenal.
their
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Well, that sounds great. Now, tell me a little bit about, you said the day. How does the day work? You mentioned it's literally like an MC, where it's at the mall?
Oh, yes, it's at the mall, at the food court, and it's a pretty big production. We have, I don't know how many people we have participate as far as the working end of it, but it's several. And there's we've already had meetings with Stephen throughout the year to get this thing set up. There's a lot of preparation involved to get the denominations of credit card, or debit cards, that he needs. It's a lot of staging to get everything done.
Well,
because we have a tremendous amount of people that come through there.
Yeah, and as the dollar amount has grown, and we've raised the denomination to kind of speed it up, because it's so much and so fast and so furious that they weren't even getting a chance to really even talk to the people or say thank you. It was kind of 101, 209, and just kind of moving through. So that's one of the things that we've really focused on this year, is kind of trying to figure out the best way to
bring that excitement.
To bring the excitement, but yet kind of free them up a little more.
Make it a little bit more personal.
For
the people. They really enjoy that.
Because it really is, like you said, a gift to the community.
It is.
I mean, these are people's lives that are being changed by your guys' support of that. And so that's just tremendous.
Sure.
I mean, these are 2 examples, Stephen, of the great works that go on with White Oaks Mall and how it interacts with our community.
Well, thank you.
You guys are really stepping it up, and as it sounds like for many years you have been, and hopefully many years you will.
Well, we hope so. We really look at being a strong community partner, and we want to be a place that we're very much involved in the community. Where one analogy that our corporate office likes to use is the mall is kind of the meeting hall of the town. As our towns have progressed, our cities have progressed, we've kind of gotten away from that central meeting point, but the mall really becomes that. That's where people gather for entertainment and shopping and fun. So that's just one of the things that we've really embraced here at White Oaks, and that we just want to share with everyone.
It really sounds like it. What are some other projects or initiatives? I know one thing I've heard about recently is you now have night buses coming by the mall.
Yes, we were lucky with the grant that the city got. We're one of the 3 routes that were extended, which we hope will increase people's, not even so much their ability to come shop, but for the employees, to increase their ease of getting back and forth to work. That's a big thing.
And it would also help some working parents who work during the day. They could take their kids to go play in the play area at night.
Exactly. Yeah. So we've had that has come up. Our general manager has now become a member of the Chamber Board of Directors, which I know that we're very excited for her to be a part of.
We are also.
She in the past has served on various task force, and was very honored to be asked to join the board.
Glad to have her.
Excited to have that. Just a lot of things in the works, coming on.
Well, let's go back now a little bit more to the play area. You run around in it, you can play in it. The games, tell me more about some of those game areas or things you can touch and move on the walls.
Well, I think those are good for, a sensory experience for the kids, as well as good manipulatives, where they can enhance their fine motor control. Where they can enhance their fine motor control. I also think, the entire space itself, in addition, what you were talking about, Stephen, is that it's a wonderful gathering place for children and for families, for caregivers, or for friends to gather together and to experience, things together. The learning that happens, and the interaction and the communication that takes place. In a big environment. It's not an expense to the caregivers. It's family friendly, it's child friendly, it's colorful, and allows for them to take a little break. if there's one family member that's shopping and another family member can hang out in that area.
I was going to say they could do a tag team.
Right.
I can envision that happening a lot.
Right. And not to play to the stereotype, but I did hear someone say this morning, this is Dad's area where he can watch the kids. Now I'm going to go shopping.
See?
So I think they're already kind of thinking that way.
Because as you said, you could go get something to eat
Yep.
or go shop and come back.
Yep.
And as a kid, I remember when I was younger, sometimes going around to do errands wasn't the most exciting thing in life because I thought I could be home playing. And so this would enable me to do both. I could be doing errands and playing at the same time as a young child. So that sounds great. So there's a lot built into this. Did you look at other models of play areas, or how did you start to come up with some of these ideas?
We did. Stephen was able to bring a variety of different catalogs to us to take a look at, as well as other malls that have implemented such a play area in their facilities. And so, of course, we were picking and choosing, I like this, I like this, I like this, and kind of went from there. But we definitely had other models to serve as our example, which was great. I'm very much a visual person, and so it was interesting to, be in the meeting and be able to communicate with one another, but also to have a visual to look at, or a vision, if you will, of what, what we could possibly do. So.
And now seeing that vision become into a reality, what are some thoughts that you have of that? I mean, I assume pride.
Right.
Be very proud of it.
Definitely. I think that it speaks to the partnership that we had created. And also, we're very proud to be a part of it, to have St. John's Children's Hospital, there, for everyone to know that, we have a wonderful children's hospital right here in our own backyard. Right here in our own backyard. And so we certainly appreciated, being a part of it. So
it really
I
is
think
about
it's
those
great things for the
partnerships.
community.
I mean, that's how I noticed Springfield has really started to excel at that. Since I've been here, I've noticed it keeps increasing and increasing. People keep coming together. I mean, here's two great examples of partnerships where either of these couldn't happen if it weren't for coming together.
Right.
And so I really think that that's great and makes us excel.
And if you think about how many children, and family members walk through the door of St. John's Children's Hospital, and how many walk through the mall as well, so we really are touching so many children and families in the community here.
Yeah.
In such a positive way, I would
Exactly.
say. And the same thing with you, Dave. I mean, this is great. It touches all your members, I don't think could have happened without this partnership. It would have been harder to give these away.
Oh, sure. Much harder. Yeah, it's the exposure. You'd be surprised. It kind of even shocks us that the amount of people that don't know about it until the time it happens. They just don't. Springfield's the biggest small town around. It's phenomenal. But the partnerships that we're trying to build with everybody, I think Stephen can attest to this. We're trying to expand the labor end of Springfield into the working end of Springfield, the corporate end of it. That's how it all works. It can't be just two sides trying to fight with themselves all the time. It all works better when we're together.
I love hearing that. That's the way I think.
Well, and one of the things too, just from White Oak's standpoint, is that we have always been a strong supporter of the unions. And 30 years ago, White Oaks was built by the unions, and so this is just
in the middle of the cornfield.
In the middle of the cornfield, and this is just just another way to reaffirm the jobs that the unions do for us, and that we can be good partners with them. So.
Well, what other things are coming up, Stephen, with White Oaks?
Well, we recently have had some new store openings. Build-A-Bear opened recently. It's a fantastic, for those of you who haven't been there.
I was going to say, a little more knowledge for those who aren't familiar.
Haven't been there is a store where you can actually go in and create a bear from scratch.
You stuff it, you pick
the skin, you stuff it, pick the clothes, name it, get a birth certificate, so it's got that whole gauntlet. I have a friend who was literally like calling and emailing me asking when they were going to open because he was having to drive to St. Louis for his kids, and they were in a competition with one another. One had 5 and the other had 6, and they had to keep it going.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he was
stiff.
He was very excited that it was coming. So they've opened. Kitty Candids has opened recently, which is a children's photography studio. just down from Build-A-Bear, and the play area, which that area is kind of becoming.
I was going to say, how interesting that you mentioned all three of those.
It's kind of becoming a children's focused.
It sounds like it.
Lower level wing, because we had already had stores like Children's Place, Gymboree, Abercrombie, and now with these additions and the play area addition, it's just kind of becoming our children's area lower level. Yeah. One of the other new ones that we've had open is Kitchen Collections. We had a lot of requests from our customers for a store that carried kitchen type things. And while Linens and Things and Macy's, Bergner's, and Sears carried things like that in World Market, they still wanted a kitchen specific store. And
for those kitchen fanatics,
yeah, kitchen
they need
fanatics.
it. Those are the people that need it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of them.
And our leasing rep worked very hard for actually almost 2 full years to find the right store.
Next.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I like about what you said we've been hearing from our customers.
Yes.
How great.
Yeah.
I love it when businesses say that. That's
we
huge.
Really, truly do. We have some great associates down at our guest service desk that have worked up great friendships. I won't even say relationships. They're good friendships with mall walkers and with customers that are on a regular basis. And they talk and they tell us what they'd like to see, or if there's something just not right, they let us know, and they call me up and they're like, hey, I've had 3 people this week say, where can you get this or where can you get that, and is that something we could look at doing? Wow. And so we listen, and then our website offers a place where people can send us comments or suggestions, and we listen to those as well. So
for those people that are techie with it,
yes,
but not required. You can just show up and talk to guest
services face to face. Absolutely.
For those people that prefer not to be the techie,
That's right. So White Oaks is ever changing, and I think that is one thing that is good to just think about, is that if we weren't changing, we would get bored with it.
Well, and both of these things we've talked about here today. I mean, yours just started a couple years ago and keeps continuing to grow. The play area just in 2007, I mean, those are huge changes.
Right.
You're not standing still.
Right. And that's the whole point, is that we don't want to be stale. We're trying to change things up so that we get a new mix of things, and it stays fresh. And once people are, makes people want to come to White Oaks and not drive out of town.
Yeah, you're right. And as you said, though, we're drawing from a large area.
We do.
If someone's anywhere in the area and wants any more information about White Oaks, or wants directions or a store list, that you said they can find that online, right?
Right.
And what's that website?
Our website is www.simon.com, and then you just choose White Oaks Mall.
All right. Well, that's great. Well, Stephen, thanks for coming today.
Thank you.
And the information about the children's area. What a great gift that you've given to help us play with it. And Dave, you guys are phenomenal.
Thank you.
Again, I'm your host, Sarah Wolin, and I'd like to thank you for joining us for Springfield Business and Economic Review. I hope you'll join us next time.